I buckled at the fame part of it at first. I didn't think I deserved it, and it was embarrassing, but that's part of the deal. You have to get used to it and be nice about it, and that's something I didn't understand for a while. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Hey everybody, I'm John Goodman, and this is my life in pictures. This is me posing with my glasses on for a high school football picture, particularly fearsome. I wasn't a particularly good football player, but I was large and slow enough that I could block things. And I did like to hit, and I thought I could walk onto a football team at the college I attended. And that didn't work out because I didn't have the grades. And by the next year, I was in the theater department, and I found a passion. And then I started paying attention for the first time in my career. The first role I really clicked with, I was in college, and I did a lot of research on it and made it kind of my own. And it was very successful. But I didn't think I could make it professionally until after I graduated, and I had to find out for myself. I went straight from school to New York City 50 years ago this summer. I had to go because if I didn't, I would kick myself in the rear end for the rest of my life. So it's just a matter of saying that I tried. And I got hired within a month, but the next year I'd gotten my union card, and it was still slippery and undecided, but I kind of knew I could do this. This is, I believe, the first sketch I did on Saturday Night Live with Phil Hartman. I was a Cajun chef, and it was the highlight of my life up until then. I was just drawn into this great circle of people, the great writers, the performers, and I just felt like I was home. And they made every effort to make me feel that I was home. And it used to be the highlight of my year when I would get to do Saturday Night Live, and I'll always cherish those memories. I think I hosted 13 times. Also, if I happened to be in New York, they would call me to fill in for a sketch, which I was more than happy to do. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. If they ever want me back, I'm there in a heartbeat. I'd make every effort to do that because I feel like I owe Lorne for letting me into that world for just a little bit. I've always loved it since it came out 50 years ago, and I feel kinship to it. This is the Flintstones. It was my great and good pleasure to work with Rick Moranis, who I just thought was brilliant, and he was a lovely man to work with and full of ideas. Yeah, I would follow him anywhere.
Wilma, I'm home!
Elizabeth Taylor was my mother-in-law in the Flintstones, and I just got her talking about Burton a little bit. She was on the floor. She took a fall in the film, so we were just squatting around her talking to her, and it was, wow. This is the episode of Sesame Street that they let me do. It was in the early 90s, and my daughter was a little girl, and took a picture with Elmo, and he signed it for Molly, so that was nice. Yeah, I was in first year of college when Sesame Street came out, I think. I still watched it. This is Jimmy Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and myself. This is the Super Bowl in New Orleans, and I was living in New Orleans at the time. So everybody came over to the house, and the band was there, and we had a lovely time. I don't know how I got involved with the Blues Brothers. I can't remember. I remember wanting to be in it. I heard there was going to be a sequel, maybe. I had to deal with Universal at the time, and it probably came out of that. I just don't think I was a good fit in it. But I'd never had more fun in my life. It's the best band ever. This is in a bowling alley on Western Avenue in Santa Monica that was demolished shortly after we finished The Big Lebowski. This is the film that most people identify me with or quote foul lines from to my face when I'm walking down the street. Everybody seems to love the film. It's one of the films I'm proudest of because any film that I did for Joel and Ethan Coen, I was very proud to be a part of. Yeah, it was the most fun I've ever had with my pants on.
You brought a Pomeranian bowling?
I brought it bowling. I didn't rent it shoes. I'm not buying it a beer. He's not taking your turn, dude.
I had no idea that the film would become what it has become. I thought it was the funniest thing I had done, just script-wise. We were given 2 weeks to rehearse before we got into it, which was enormously beneficial. just because of the intricacy of the dialogue. People still think we were improvising, which is a compliment because it looks like that. But the script is so well written that you wouldn't even think of changing a thing. This is Monsters, Inc. I'm Sully, and Billy Crystal is Mike Wazowski. Yeah, this was fun, and it really took off. We had been recording our lines by ourselves, and Billy suggested that they put the two of us together, and the energy just exploded. It was a great idea on Billy's part, and it was fun, and that's what kids know me by now. Oh, this is from a film called Argo, but it won the Academy Award for Best Picture. It's with Ben Affleck, myself, and the incomparable Alan Arkin. Alan and I had a lot of downtime on Argo, and we play Scrabble, talk about music, art, what it was like in the 50s in New York. There's nobody quite like him. Crabby as hell, and I just loved him. This is a movie that George Clooney put together called Monuments Men, and it paid tribute to the men and women who went to Europe after D-Day to try to rescue the art that the Nazis pillaged from Jews and churches and everything else. They hid them in salt mines in Germany and France. It's something that I knew nothing about when I went into it. And we had a great cast. I got to work with Bill Murray. I'd met him before. I actually auditioned for him in 1983 or something. Yeah, it's the first time we hung around together. It was a lot of fun, and George is always a party. He was the pilot episode, George Clooney was, of Roseanne, and we had a great year, and he wisely took off afterwards. That was a smart move, but he came back in ER. He's got such a huge heart, and he's so damn funny, and it's just always a pleasure to be around George. This is my wife and a disgruntled Molly. She was still Molly Goodman at the time. And me receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I think it's outside of a wax museum or something. I haven't been over there lately, but that was a thrill and an honor. It was a treat. I mean, it's something I never would have dreamed of, being among all those other stars. It was thrilling. And Jeff Bridges came to make a speech that day, 45 minutes late. He brought his dude sweater and put it on and did a speech. It meant the world to me. It was just so touching and funny and just indicative of Jeff Bridges. He's got a heart of gold, man. This is from The Connors. Some of my favorite people in the world. My acting hero, Laurie Metcalf, was worth the price of admission. It was worth showing up every day for work just to see what that woman would do. She's magic. She's amazing. And God, she made me laugh. You know, my jaw would drop when I'd watch her. She's so good.
Turn that light on, will you?
Roseanne changed my life because it made me famous. It was a hit show. First time I'd ever done anything like that, a 3 or 4 camera comedy. I was cast for it. I went in to read with Roseanne the first time. And I'd never do this, but I walked out of there knowing I had the job. It was just too good of a fit. Man, the first couple of years, we just had so much fun. And Roseanne and I have always been able to make each other laugh. I would try to get her to pee her pants laughing, and what she'd oblige me with from time to time. The kids were wonderful. It was a great home for 8 or 9 seasons for me. And then there was a chance that we could do a reunion. A couple of things got bumpy, but we finally did it. We wrapped it up last year, and that is one that I will miss. It makes my heart sad that it's over because it's leaving family. This is another show that wrapped last year, The Righteous Gemstones. I think we cranked out 4 seasons in a span of maybe 7 years. Yeah, I'm going to miss that. It's like losing a family again, especially the crew, the location, and the writers. Everybody was special, and it was so much fun, and boy, am I going to miss it.
Let's go get our money. What?
That was Jesus, Daddy.
No, that was a karate person.
No, that wasn't a karate person. That was Jesus.
Oh.
Once we had the basic scene itself, somebody would go off, Edie or Walton or Danny. We just come up with stuff, and I can't compete with this, man, but I'm just going to hang on and see what happens. And mostly I put my head down or turn my head, bit the inside of my cheek, because it was so funny. And yeah, I'm really going to miss that. This is Papa Smurf. This is Smurfette, and this is No Name Smurf, who finds his identity sometime during the making of the film. I was in several different cities. I think I recorded this in London, in Santa Monica, Charleston, South Carolina, probably New Orleans. So I was a well-traveled Smurf. There's a theme of family and community in the Smurfs, not to get too serious about it, but it is important because they are part of community, and things do get rough, and things are rough right now for a lot of people. But if we hang in there, at least we'll write it out together, if not help to make things better. And if you're together with loved ones and friends, it makes everything better.